Hi everyone, my name is Ashley Christensen and I'm with Chugach Alaska Corporation. I am the Community Development Program Director. Thank you, first of all, for hosting and having us here, and thank you to everyone for making it through the end of the day. I do have a flight to catch, as well as we all probably getting ready to wrap up for the day. So I'd like to provide an overview for those of you who aren't aware of Chugach Alaska Corporation. As an Alaska Native corporation, what we do within our region and where our region is, and then I'll drill down into how we participate in the Kenai Peninsula economy, collaborate with businesses, and just provide jobs here in the region, including our two communities just across here from Homer. Before we begin, I just wanted to share a little bit about myself, because one of the mottos we have at Chugach, we are responsible for regional development, but you can't have regional development without community development. And I think that being from a small community like Homer myself, I'm adding value to this position, both personally and professionally. And that says a lot. It reminds me of the woman who was up here earlier today, who's from Homer, moved back to Homer, and now she's on a panel giving her opinions on how she thinks you can bring more people back to Homer. So I enjoy working across Prince William Sound, being from Cordova, born and raised on a family boat. I was a small child when Exxon Valdez oil spill happened. I don't believe child labor laws were as strict as they are now. So my dad had to save money and had a full-on family operation. So you could tell quite young there, both seining and field money. So Chugach Alaska Corporation, we are very unique in the fact that we are a for-profit company with a nonprofit mission. Our mission is that we are committed to profitability, so we have to earn that revenue. There's a for-profit piece, celebration of our heritage, and ownership of our lands, which involves being good stewards of our lands. And not just the lands that we own, but the region in which we encompass. And how do we do that? We have to operate this balanced portfolio of businesses, investments, and land development projects. Because we are a community-owned organization. We think beyond now. We have a 100-year vision. We have to think of the generations to come, and we recognize that the decisions we make today affect those of tomorrow. So those brilliant ideas that we all have, that I like to have, it does require a lot of collaboration, a lot of discussion, and understanding how can we work together and make a decision that's not just good for right now, but gonna have long-term impacts. This is an overview of our region. There's an arbitrary line that cuts between Port Graham and Seldovia, and that is Chugach land on the east side. So Port Graham and Wallach are two of our unincorporated villages, and that goes up the Kenai Fjords Park, through Seward, Whittier, Valdez, Cordova, and down the Barren Glacier before we get to Sea Alaska territory. So we do have about 5,000 miles of coastline, and we own subsurface estate, whereas the village corporations will own the surface estate, and that goes back to our longevity of partnerships since we've been created in 1971 through the Alaska Native Claims Settlement Act. So our land entitlement spans nearly 1 million acres in this south central region, which is 378,000 acres of full fee estate and 500,000 of subsurface estate. Our land management strategy includes projects that stimulate economic development within our communities and support our shareholder benefits while also caring for the land for future generations. So as I stated, being from Cordova, I am a shareholder descendant. I'm a descendant of a shareholder because I was not born in 1971 when ANCSA passed. I am a product of what Alaska Native corporations were supposed to be doing, giving back to their people. They have to promote the economic, social, and cultural well-being. I grew up in a fishing family, did not understand business, but I also grew up in a fishing family when it was the 90s and early 2000s. It wasn't very good fishing, and I had to make money for college. So what was I gonna do? I relied on my scholarships that I got through Alaska Native corporations and village corporations, and those are the benefits that these revenues are required, mandated, but also want to give to their people and promote those youth. So when we talk about workforce development, there's been a lot of great panels here. I just think, are we also including the tribes? Are we also including the village corps? Are we also including the regional corps? How are we all working together to solve these problems? Because like a city, like a tribe, like a village, we all have a lot of similar problems, but we also have a lot of strong youth that we are raising together. I would like to consider myself one of them that is stepping into positions that want to be digging in and asking these hard questions on how can we work together and take care of our beautiful landscape. I feel like Cordova is a lot like Homer, except we don't have a road system. Port Graham and Wallach have a lot of the same housing issues that you guys do as well. We're not alone there. Now, this is going to be hard to see on the tiny screens. I do apologize for that, but I think what I want you to understand from this slide is that these are all of the organizations that make up this ecosystem of ANCSA, Alaska Native Claims Settlement Act, and we have been primed with partnerships from day one. Alaska Native entities have been utilizing our partnerships, whether it's with the state, tribe, regional, village, nonprofit entities. You heard from Jeff Hedrick with Alita Hatchery earlier today. Chugach Regional Resource Commission is a nonprofit supporting the Chugach region. They're one of our tribal organizations. We all have to work together to be able to meet the needs and fulfill this unique model of self-determination. And I think my takeaway here is that we want to have a seat at the table. We appreciate KPEDD for allowing us to have a seat at the table, having a voice here, being a part of your Keenan Peninsula Task Force for broadband, and just getting to come to community events like this. It's been fantastic. So Port Graham, who's been to Port Graham? All right, a lot. So Port Graham is very unique as well. I just want to highlight some of their projects that they have coming up. You see their dock. Port Graham Village Corporation has a, I love the campaign name, Desperate Dock Campaign, because their dock has been crumbling and falling apart, and they are making great strides to getting that accomplished. But what it impacts is getting fuel to the community. And so they're limited on the amount of fuel they can get in the community because it has to go through the water, because their dock that's supposed to take the fuel is inoperable and falling apart. So they have this whole waterfront project. So just, if there's people that can meet that need or want to have that conversation, Port Graham Village Corporation, they would love to talk with you if you haven't already. And that's one of many projects. I want to highlight Ninwalek. Who's been to Ninwalek? Same folks? Nice. Ninwalek, January 14th, I'll put a little plug. They have their Russian New Year's event, which they're very well known for. But I love this picture of the lagoon because they have a very unique issue in that alone while also receiving fuel. They can only have boats come in at certain times of the tide, which impacts, what is it, the borough that delivers fuel there? Okay, I'm gonna go out on a limb and say they deliver the fuel there, and they're limited to what they can get on a truck that can go on a landing craft that can then go to the community. And so when you think about energy sufficiency, sustainability, they're so close to the road system, but so far behind. So part of my job is working with all of our communities on how can we help you navigate the steps to get your needs done? You've heard needs assessment mentioned earlier. Our communities have done that. What are your needs? Where are you in the projects? Where are you with your critical projects on the borough's list, on the state's list, on the federal agencies list? How can we, Chugach being the regional corporation responsible for regional development, help at the community level? And that's where I just love my job. I have a very cool job getting to work at the community level for a regional organization. To me, it's unique and interesting. And sorry, I have my 4 o'clock flight, so I am rushing faster than I had intended. What I would like to highlight here is our operation companies, because those of you may not know or may know that Chugach in 2015 purchased All American Oil Field So they have had a reputation here for a long time. They were a great transition for us on our commercial side of the house to get into Kenai Peninsula oil and gas, but it was very much a complementary business for us because Chugach Alaska Services have been providing staffing solutions to Alyeska for decades as well, so it paralleled. And then TCC, has anyone heard of TCC here? You guys do SERVs? Anyone here operate on SERVs, oil spill response? TCC works with Alyeska to contract and support that. So, you know, being a Cordova fisherman, I know plenty of people who relied on SERVs for April income just to survive after they paid their taxes. So here's some highlights of some of the services that, staffing services that we provide with CAS, because we love our acronyms. CAS is also hiring. We have jobs in Valdez, Anchorage, Fairbanks, and they do range in the gamut of all the oil field positions. Just 2 days ago, they had a power vapor technician position open in Valdez. So if you have family, friends looking for those jobs, please refer them to ChugachAlaskaServices.com. And TCC, having that connection to our land and our waterway, which we are coastline people, Exxon Valdez, you know, was detrimental to all of us. You guys down here in Homer, my family in Cordova, to Titlick, which I have right in front of. But that did allow us to go into a different business line with the formation of the Oil Spill Response Group to help protect the Chugach region. And through that, we had Titlick, Shawniga, and Chugach form a joint venture, and that became TCC. And TCC has the contract with Alyeska, established in 1994, to provide that oil spill response for the fishing vessels and supporting that task force. This is the 502 barge you guys probably see out here. And that's for nearshore operations. All American Oil Field, they have job openings as well, so I encourage everyone to check them out. They're also housed with KPEDD in their Business Incubator Center. And the last thing I kind of wanted to end with, you know, we talk a lot about resource development. It's very interesting. We have profits with a purpose. So very unique. In 2014, Chugach understood that there was, they identified that California's cap and trade program is an opportunity with Alaska Natives forest owners, and that could help provide revenue to our shareholders and benefit them. And so, whereas we don't touch our forests, or we don't touch our coal, we put those in conservation and we earn revenues that we can then give back to support the programs and our mission for our people. Started in 2014 and advocating with California to make sure that Alaska could become a part of Alaska Natives, could become a part of that program. And by 2017, we were able to sell measly 100,000 acres into the program, and which now has been multi-million. Port Graham Village Corporation was one of the other ones to take advantage of it, and so was Alaska. So again, just thinking differently about how can we be good stewards of our land and also provide for our people and earn revenue. Very unique. And with that, I'll just say thank you, Koyana. It's been a pleasure.